Hello and welcome back. I'm Joe, and this is Workers and Resources Server Republic, where I fix your republic. This was submitted by one of you, and it's a Slovakia map, and we're pretty much in the beginning, and there have been some issues, and it's a new player, so I wanted to see if I can help out, get this republic going, profitable, and everything rolling, so that they can continue playing on this. But also, hopefully this helps some of you if you have issues in a starting map. All right, first we have to take notice of everything that's going on here. So let's check out our loans. They're relatively low. That's good. Low percentage and low everything. That's honestly, those are all good things. The higher you do your duration, the higher the interest rate, and lower the lower. So that part is good so far. We have some import-export numbers over here, but they're not looking great because so far we have export, nothing, and import, nothing for this month. If we look at everything together, everything is negative. So we don't currently have anything that creates any income for us, which is a small problem. But okay, we'll see if we can address that quickly, because we do have a coal power plant. Drinking water have poor quality. Okay, well, we can fix all of that. We have a little city, Malachi, over here. It has some normal amenities sitting around, and that's awesome. We got a little lumber camp over here, and then we have Bratislava that would like to become a city. There's a lot of stuff planned here, but obviously nothing has started yet, I hope. And that is fine. I think we can totally help this republic. And again, I'm hoping that doing this will help someone else along the road. And the first thing we're going to do is just turn off all construction over here. And I would also like to turn off all construction out here. There is more stuff. There's a farm sitting here. That's awesome. There's a food factory sitting there. There's a lot of stuff going on that's probably going to be good. We even have a livestock farm. Oh, nice. We have a huge grain silo. Nice. A bunch of things just being constructed there, but we're not quite ready for that yet. The first thing we need to do is figure out how we are going to make a little bit of money. And we have some sources already sitting right here. Let's ignore the rail in the background for right now. If we press F3, we have some underground thingies going on. And I think I want to start here, because there are a couple issues. For example, this heat exchanger that sits above ground tells you it has 0% capacity of all connected buildings. Factories do not require heat. They produce their own heat. You don't have to heat them. They will be just fine. You only need civil buildings. That is a fire station, a police stations, residential buildings. Those things need heat. But every other building does not. So in this case, this heat exchanger is not useful, not needed, but it's fine that it's here, because why not? A couple other things that we have going on over here. F3, we have a water loading and unloading station right here. That's nice. We have a big water well sitting there. That's also nice. But the problem is that, well, there's no pump in between, and this water well is directly connected to this loading and unloading station, but the loading and unloading station cannot move water from A to B. So it's really just stuck here, and you could load it with a truck and then unload it again. If you unload it, there's a pump sitting right over here, and you don't have anything because there's no water sitting there. So yeah, water is just not getting moved around here. And that is, well, it's not ideal, but it is what it is. A couple things to note here is the water quality in this big water well is only 89%, which is not good. And yeah, drinking water has poor quality over here is telling us that. At 95%, it's actually not that terrible, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough. That's what it's really saying here. So what do we need to do? First, this one, we really don't want to use it right now because we're still in the beginning phase of the game, and it's not necessary. This water well over here, also, we don't need to use it because we're not going to turn on this water. If you want to use water, and we're not going to go over that today, you have to use a water treatment plant after you get water from a well, because your water will never be high enough. You need 97% to make them happy. Everything below that is a health hazard, etc., etc. You need chemicals and other things for that as well, and you need workers. The good thing about a water treatment plant is it does not produce pollution, which is great, but that's where it stops because it costs money, and in the beginning you really don't need that much water. So we can leave that alone, because this player already has some water tanks set up, and they are going via a, looks like a direct line. Is that a direct line? No. Water station. technical station is right here. So it is set up so that a technical service is bringing water from somewhere to somewhere else. You're trying to load it, though, at the loading and unloading station, which is right over here, and we just talked about that. They will pick up water that is not high enough quality and try to unload it. Let's see, at the water substation, which is over here, and we don't want to do that. So a couple things that we're going to fix right now is tell these guys, we're actually going to pause it. We'll tell these guys to not get their, where are you, water from the loading unloading station. Instead, we're going to tell them to get the water from the customs house, because that means they can actually get high enough quality water. And water is not that expensive, especially in the beginning when you don't need that much. So that's the first thing. That should effectively turn off this station and also turn off this big water well, because we really just don't need it right now. This water tower over here could totally work if we unload water here, but that's not what the technical service is doing. This would happen if we had a water truck designated to bring water down here, and we can totally do that. But I'm not sure that we want to spend money on another water tank. Honestly, no. Oh, there's another problem. I almost forgot about that. Once you pressurize your water demand goes up a lot. So it's not a bad idea to, in the beginning in small towns, just have just tanks bringing water to the water substation and let them do what they're supposed to do. So that's the first thing done. Heat-wise, this looks fine. We have 124 cubic meters of heat at a large heat exchanger, and it looks like we have a large heating pipe running through there. The only problem is this heating plant currently does not have coal. That's not good, because our heating tank temperature is not high enough. Right now, that doesn't make a huge difference because we already have 18 degrees, which is pretty close to good. But overall, you do want to make sure that you have enough coal to let this thing run. So I guess that is the next thing that we're going to fix, because if you don't have a running infrastructure, you're not going to get anything else done. So you would like, it looks like, oh, you have a little conveyor transfer engine sitting right here. Interesting. You know what? We can finish that. That one is fine. Let's make this one high priority, because may as well get that one done. You already have everything delivered here. We just need some workers. So construction offices, let's see where they are. Our Baubüro. I have to get used to the German words for all of these, but that's totally fine. Let's use our construction office assignment tool. We don't have any yet. And then we can just find all the blue highlighted ones to see what they're doing. And then what are you currently working on? You have a conveyor and a train depot. Train depot? No, we don't need to build this because we're nowhere near ready to do anything with trains. So all they're supposed to do right now is build this conveyor engine. Great. Okay, let's unpause and let them run. This guy, we would like you to fill up with coal and nothing else. Let's do this. And for what it's set up right now, I think it will be just fine to just use a dedicated truck. Let's see if we can find one that we can use. This is a distribution office. I need a... there's a technical service. Got it. That's a road depot. This is what I'm looking for. We need a couple dumpers, and we're close to the border, so these should be okay to get us what we need for right now. We're just going to have to wait for just a few minutes to get those in. But yeah, it looks like we have coal actually sitting here, and there are workers. That is almost very good. We just have to figure out the water thing, but I think the water part will get solved relatively quickly. Because we do have the water tank sitting or running around somewhere. What are these guys actually doing? What are you doing? You're going to the customs house, engine transfer. Okay, you're going there to work. Interesting. Which means your construction office. Okay. If your construction office, I probably at this point don't want to pay for foreign workers anymore. What I want instead is have you go... there's a bus station right here. Have you go out here and pick up workers from our own front. And with that, let's see what we have going on here. That's the big one. Do they all have the same assignments? That's the question. I would assume they probably do. If they don't, they'll be fine. But everyone that has a bus, I want you to get your workers from the Maliki bus station, because that's where we have our people. It's a little far distance to drive, but it's not the end of the world. Also, these construction offices, at this point, we just have a little too much going on, but that's not the end of the world. I did see this when I looked around earlier. Quarried stone. We don't want that. What are you doing? You, sir, you're doing what? What is happening here? You picked up uranium oxide and plastic waste? That is extremely expensive. Could you please... What are you supposed to pick up? Oh, they don't have real guidelines on what they're supposed to do. That's probably not helpful. So what I want you to do is unload what you have loaded there and get a little bit of money back, and then probably have you... Oh, and you're going to the really far... No, you're going to one that's really close by. I'm going to look through all the resources that we have sitting here in a little bit. Yeah, we got to fix a couple more things over on this side, but that's okay for right now. Because we do have the construction crew sitting right there. So what was I doing? I was trying to get a couple dump trucks, and I guess we have the distribution office sitting over here. Honestly, this may be just fine. I would like you... What are you assigned to? You're assigned to this to drop off something there. You're supplying stuff to these places. Okay. Bruchstein. I think this is the one that we don't want. Bruchstein. Yes. We don't want that. We want to get rid of the whole storage and not store anything for the time being, ideally. We'll just see how that goes. If you really want to, you can do gravel here. Eisen. Oh boy. Kohle. No. Well, you have coal. Okay. Okay, interesting. I would recommend, as just a general rule of thumb, to not use these open aggregate storages for too long, because they're super slow and they only have one loading and unloading station, and that's not super helpful. Let's see here. You unload a lot of stuff here, but the only place where you load is from the customs house, which means you're importing trash. We don't need iron for a very long time. We don't need all of this. So what we're going to do is actually turn off everything that we don't care about. So this is gravel, this is coal, iron we don't need, construction waste we don't need, aluminum waste we don't need, metal waste we don't need, and the rare construction office we don't need anything from right now. What we do need is for these guys to start dropping off stuff here, and we only want coal. And honestly, 10% is probably more than sufficient for a place that stores 5,000. So 10% is 500 tons. Once we get to that one, we will be just fine. So they can just start driving around and doing those things. And that should fill up this with coal, assuming that we have power here. We do have power, so that should be good enough. All right. That's done for now. There is a little rare construction crane sitting here, and that's nice, but you don't have workers. And honestly, I don't want you to start working yet, because once we start with rare construction, that is super duper expensive. Since we currently don't have any active construction zones, I will just pause the game right here and look at a couple other things. Drinking water poor quality, so our water guy has not caught up with everything yet. That's not ideal, but we may be able to fix this. This is technical service. You're going to the customs house. Good. And you're supposed to bring stuff to everywhere. Here's something that we have to do then. We have to... this was supposed to work. We have to empty out some of those... These are buses. Interesting. We have to empty out some of the water storages. I may not be able to do that when it's... There we go. We can hold this down. And then I'm expecting one of the water trucks to actually drive out there and get them what they want. I'm guessing same thing over here. We can make that 97%. That's already good. And then the people over here, yes, they are getting better water in general in that area. So that's helping. Cool. What do we have going on over here? We have a few workers sitting there. That's nice. And we have a lot of buses, but most of them are sitting... Yes, they're not actually active. They're doing something different right now. What are those? Is it these guys? Yes, I think so. So these are currently not doing anything. All right. Let's take that as a good sign. Who is all going here? Do we have a bus line that's taking anyone here? We have one bus. One bus, and we're going to find this bus. This one bus is not going to be able to have the frequency that we need to actually bring enough people in. And how that looks is pretty simple. This guy's going to arrive, and we have... Let's just follow one of these. Really doesn't matter where they go. But we're going to follow one of them. doesn't matter where you're going, and you're going to the heating plant. And currently there's one worker sitting there. And okay, we're full now, we're producing heat, but watch when that little gray bus is going to come back. It's this bus. So you're just on your way out here, and watch this number up here. Eventually, that number is going to be reduced. And you can look at that right now, it's happening. Work shift, they only have 8 hours. So this bus is driving and doing its thing. And by the time it gets back, this is actually doing a lot better than I expected. But I think the point, wow, we may be able to make it all the way back. This person may be someone that has the shift. There we go. This is what I wanted to see. We are losing workers before we're able to replenish them. So now everyone is gone, and that's a little problem. This bus is really close to actually making this work, but it's just a little too slow. So what we need to do is increase our frequency on this line. The first way to do that is just find another bus and tell them, hey, I would like you to get on the same line. Now, if you have a line like this, you could turn on line spacing. And that may be fine for right here. It's not going to be the end of the world. It's going to be totally okay. The problem with line spacing is they like to turn to effectively stop a bus. They like to slow it down to about 30 kilometers per hour, and then you're going to block all the other traffic. A way to get around that is to add a simple end station. And the name is terrible because it's not actually a station, but you can use it, and I'm trying to find it here in the depots. You can use it to get better line spacing. That's what we're going to do here. So we're just going to add it somewhere. Somewhere with power is helpful because you can actually refuel buses here. We're just going to plop it right there and tell our construction crew over here to get started on just constructing this, and it will be great. But that's not super important. Adding a second bus here, all I want to see is that we generally have enough workers in that area, in that zone. How are we doing over here? You still have poor drinking water. How about we flush this and let them replenish that with better stuff? So we got 15 workers again over there, and that's great. And there's that bus. Honestly, I would feel more confident about everything if we have 3 buses on this line, because this is a very high value service that's running here. We have power running, which we're going to get to something else here, and then we have the heating plant running. Power has some foreign workers. We really don't need them anymore, so let's figure out where they come from. What do we have here? We have this bus is currently driving around, but we don't want you. And this bus is going to the customs house, and it's paying a lot of money, and it's blocking traffic here. Why are you trying to pass there? We don't want that. And as you can see, there are also 44 workers sitting on the bus not doing anything. We don't need any of that. This bus can simply go back to the depot and not do anything fancy. What are these guys doing? Looks like you like to wait here. How about we add a little bit of traffic management? Not sure that this is the right management yet, but it gives you hopefully a little bit of a better flow in that area. You don't want to overload this customs house, but it's at least a medium one, which is generally a little faster than the other ones. So now we have current number of workers here. That looks good. We have high number of workers here. We don't need all of them, so I'm going to reduce this because, as you saw earlier, our heat exchanger over here only has a need of about 1/3 of this out of 300 cubic meters. So we only need 124 cubic meters of heat, and this thing can produce 1,000. So we really just need about 10% when we run. 20% is high, and you can achieve that with less than 50% of workers. It's just, don't go too crazy about that, but you need less workers than you think you need over here. So that looks good. This bus currently is going a whopping 30 kilometers per hour because of the thing that I was talking about earlier, because of line spacing is enabled. We don't want that. We want them to just go, because right now that is fine. Once this end station is done, we're going to have them run through the end station, and then they're actually spaced, but the spacing is for when they get released on the line and not when when they want to go somewhere. So that should be helpful. Another thing while they're building that is the player also mentioned that buying new workers has been super expensive. And as you can see, our happiness is super down there. And we don't have any money right now. If you do lose workers for whatever reason, you have 21,000 workers to pick from. And they're everywhere. this may have been a map where you started with 75% or so population there, and these people are not connected to anything. However, you can move them. You will reduce their happiness a little bit, but at least you don't have to pay for workers. So you have a lot of extra workers over there until you need to spend money on these again. So we're just going to do this until the buildings are full, and then you're good to go. But that is fine. Okay, so we're currently out of money. Let's fix that with another loan, because you don't want to stay out of money for too long, because that's what just happened. And at some point, you're just going to have to pay a huge amount of penalties on that, and we don't want that. Let's take out 300k to just see what happens, because the next thing that we're going to do is start making a little bit of money once we know that this is not good. We don't want this to run out of workers. That is super important. If it runs out of workers, we have a real problem. Right now, the buses are still bedding in. Also, this road, I don't like you, because the gravel road is just too slow. Dirt road is just too slow. We're going to at least make it a gravel road to make this all happen, and then we should be fine. But yeah, I would like the end station before I go too crazy on this, because if this one ever runs out of workers, we have a real problem. We don't want that. I'm going to look at this for just a couple minutes to see if we actually run out of workers now, because I would assume with 3 buses, we shouldn't have that issue. There's 20, and then we're full again, and we're 9, and we're 12, so we're at least 50% full most of the time, which is awesome. Okay, looks like the end station is also almost about done. And yeah, we haven't run out of workers here. That's awesome. That's great. That's exactly what we wanted to see, because now we can start exporting power. How do we do that? Well, it's honestly very simple. This guy, you said to export, maximum energy cell is set to 0 megawatts. Tell it to sell stuff. And then we should be able to get some power out here. I'm surprised to not see any spikes over here, because that should happen. These guys are not actually doing anything. Our priority connections are maybe doing something funky. I don't think they do. We have nothing. How is this one not connected? High priority. Medium priority, connection 1. I want that to be the high priority for out. Do you get something now? Nope. Nothing's going through there. Okay, that is not what I expected to see. And that's a little weird, because yeah, we have our power production right here. They should be able to do everything that they need to do, but they clearly are not. So let's get our overlays on and see what is happening with our current production. Yeah, there's nothing going through there. They all are connected to our voltages, but yeah, this thing is not on. We should not. Yeah, it's working the other way around. Huh. There shouldn't be research for being able to actually export power. That's old. Hold on. Okay, I am not seeing any power export restrictions on the research tree, so I'm very surprised by this not actually doing something. If I can import it, I should be able to export it. The only thing I can think of is that this thing is not actually connected, but that would be weird too. Let's check something. Here's a big one. That one is clear. It looks like it's very clearly connected. This one doesn't look like it's doing anything. We did see that we had a power connection. Oh, you see it? I see it. This is an in. Oh, sorry. This is the out, and this is the in. So our current setup just doesn't work because these connectors are wrong. The priority switches are not like the normal switches. As you can see here, there's arrows that go in and arrows that go out. In this case, we're just going to the out connection, which is not super helpful. So let's fix that real quick. We are not in, what's it called? Against demolition? No, just pay for it. It's fine. Pay in dollars if we can. Oh, you have realistic mode on. No. Let's just turn it off. Highly recommend you don't play realistic mode right away. It makes life a lot harder, and things like this, mistakes like this, can just get really, really expensive. Let's use some dollars to get rid of this. Cool. And then let's use a couple more dollars to get a high voltage connection through here. What are the underground ones? 12 megawatts, and with the big ones we have 15. Yeah, we're a little better with this. All we need to do here is jump out there. It looks a little ugly, but now there's a connection. get this one built. I don't know why I'm using rubles for that, but now we should see this one actually exporting stuff. Export stuff now. Oh. We're now connected with the ins instead of the outs. So let's fix that part as well. There's electricity here. I need that one gone. Same thing, just use our dollars. Thank you very much. And then we can actually use the output to actually connect these things. And then this power connection over here has effectively the same problem. So let's see. We're just going to use this to export. There is that. And while we're here, I'm going to get rid of this connection because that's not the right one either way. Let's get you all done. Okay. This one. Okay. And as you can see, we are producing a lot more power now than we were 2 minutes ago. And that's what we want to see. So this one's almost connected now. Let's just get it to the right thing. So later on when we want to do something, that's right. There you go. Get that one built, and now we actually have power on this outlet, on this connection as well. The problem is this connection can handle 15. This connection can handle 18 megawatts. These wires can only handle 15, which is why this production currently is not maxed out. Okay, I was a little surprised to see that we're not increasing our money, but we were clearly just purchasing something for a little while, but that's fine. So now we have some income. That's the first one. That's important. This guy is not currently built. Let's make sure that it gets done. And now we can look at some other problems, because I'm sure we are probably, let's see, look at the population, look at our all. There's just a steady decline in population. It's not a lot, but it's definitely there. So let's just make sure that they get everything that they're asking for. Drinking water, poor quality. I'm not sure how that is still bad because we're out of power. That's bad. That's very bad. That means there's nobody here. At night, you can really easily see that by not having any workers there. That's what's happening there. So where's our bus? I think a problem is that this bus had to go refuel over here. Yep, fueling is full right there. So they had to go all the way out here, and then we had to hope that they actually make it there. And every power outage is bad. You don't want that. Which is another reason why you want to add a bus end station, because then you can refuel right in the end station. That's probably what you want. Another thing while we're here that we're just going to do is get another free gas station. Gravel road is totally sufficient here, and we're just going to put it right there. There's no big reason for that. But let's see, there's Treibstoff from this guy. I would like you to also bring your fuel down here. It will just help every vehicle that's driving down here to get refueled when they need to, and the free gas stations do not require power, which is important. So that's the first thing. We were just out of power for a little while. Drinking water, still poor quality. It's just, that's very weird. You had 97%. You should be just fine. Just seriously, just figure it out. It's good for now. We don't have to worry about that anymore, I don't think. And then you can't get to culture. Culture is over here. It's a sports hall. We also have a cinema. That's also culture. But with the low drinking water quality, we just have general issues. We're at 97%. I'm surprised to not see this any better. Where's our water? Water, guys. There's a water tank. You're bringing 11 cubic meters of 100% water. We're out of money again. At least right now we're making a little bit of money, so we have to be careful here, because you just don't want to be delinquent on your loans. You want to be able to pay them, and that's what I'm trying to do here. We may consolidate a bunch of these loans into one and then see what happens, but there you go. We still have a pretty good amount that we can borrow because we have a very high population, and that should be helpful. Okay, there's our water guy. What are you saying now? Water quality is better. Everyone is happy. This one is not happy just yet. Gosh, you're annoying. Okay, another thing that I just saw is this guy picked up a little bit of wastewater. We don't want a little bit of wastewater. We want a lot of wastewater. So it's just add a sewage tank. Normally I add these very close to our water, so that they can collect the same stuff, which we're doing right here. And then once this one is full, our sewage tanks will just pick up from here instead of individual buildings, and that should help us with what we want to do here. You have 41% full. Cool. So that should all help. It's not going to make it perfect, but it should at least help. Which means these people, we only have a couple people that are complaining about stuff, so that's actually really good. No meat, no food, no hospital, but again, just 1 or 2 people are missing out on that. That's honestly a very good sign, because that tells me that we're mostly doing okay. Here's a police station. You probably need it, but if you want to use it, you have to add vehicles. I'm not going to get into too much detail right now, but if you want to fight crime, you need a police station, you need a courthouse, and you need a prison. All of them have to be working. And I don't think that this place is the right place to do it. I think the bigger city over here, once we get to that area, should help. Low health. Why? 13% health. That is awful. What is your problem? I'm hoping it is overflowing sewage. It may be overflowing sewage. I'm not 100% sure. But that's all being kind of solved right now. We just have to be a little patient. You are doing what you're supposed to do here. I would like to see where you are currently going. You're going all the way up here to individual buildings. Oh, that's not what we want either. Okay, but that's fine. We'll look for somewhere. Let's go find it. Trash and waste is a little more complicated now than it needs to be. But okay, we have these guys parked here. We don't want them to go to every individual building, because what happens then is pollution, and pollution is bad. So let's look at this. Actually, let's look at our overlay, because it should be part of this. There's waste. What is building networks connection? Oh, you do have a waste connection right here, but you don't have more than that yet. Got it. Interesting. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this one, and I wanted mixed waste. Anyone almost overflowing? Looks like this one is about to overflow. We don't have that much waste, but honestly, I'm surprised that your guys are doing fine on the waste. Nobody's really overflowing. They're just all kind of close. So that's good. That's pretty good news. Let's look at the health overall. We have 80% mostly, some 70s and some 53%. Obviously, the more people you have, the more the waste fills up, but this one looks like it may actually be connected to something. Nope, it must have just got picked up. Huh. I don't know 100% how waste is generated, but looks like this is actually doing better than I would have expected. I would say try to add a couple more waste collections, which are these. And if you want, you can use the ones with footpaths, or we just use the other ones. Not sure that I'm going to have a lot of room anywhere here. This water substation probably has to go away at some point. But that's neither here nor there. If you can get a couple more small stands in, that should help you collect all the waste, you will be in pretty good shape, honestly. So let's put one here, get you a little footpath, and that will cover a few more areas. And then we should be honestly pretty good on that. That's the wrong one. That's the right one. Cool. So they can figure that out. Look at this. We have our end station done, and our road is just about to be on, which is awesome. Let's go check our line. We have 3 vehicles on this line, 2 currently heading to this way. We're just going to edit the line itself. We're not going to edit the individual lines for the vehicles, because that'd be bad. This is what we want. We want people to come in here. I probably should have put the end station on the other side, but honestly, this is not the end of the world, so that should be fine. Look at that. We have a little bit of money coming in, but just not a lot yet. The good news is, at this point, we're pretty good. I don't want this one to run out, though. There's another bus coming in right now, and the other workers are walking into the station. Hopefully soon. If that bus didn't have any workers on board, that's a problem. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yep, we're at 0. We're at no workers. Painful, painful, painful. But, okay. Oh, okay. There's another thing that we have to do. The end station can refuel, but it actually has to have a fuel delivery service. So let's do this, and now our buses should probably work better than what they have done. And that should be great. Cool. So that's good. This one looks good. We have a bunch of stuff sitting there. I don't actually want anything delivered to here, even though it's trying to deliver them. Who are you? Oh, you have the line set up this way. Okay, highly... This will be hard to fix, because all I will tell you is don't do this. Instead of setting up multiple dedicated lines that go to everything, that can be very helpful, I get that. Get a couple free distribution offices. They're right down here, the gray ones, and you have them, you have used them. Just use them to fill up all the different places that you need, because one, it saves you a lot of fuel by not having vehicles drive around all the time, and two, it's a lot easier to diagnose and fix later on when something is wrong. So highly recommend you do that, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll get over it. You are getting waste from there. This is a little unfortunate that the waste amounts are so small. Actually, we're going to fix that right now. Give me a waste container. Give me a transfer station. The big one should be totally sufficient. Put this somewhere here. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Get the construction office on this. And then you can either add a road cargo station like this one, if you want, but it's a little overkill for what we have going on right here. Or you can just have a dedicated truck parked there, because as long as only one parking spot out of two is affected, you should be okay. Once you have multiple, you're not okay. Another thing that you will need eventually is an incinerator, but I would think at this distance you probably don't have to worry about that, so that should be a-okay. We have built all of our technical services. That is unfortunate. What is this going to do? And this is sewage truck, but we will unburden this one relatively soon once our little sewage tank over here is ready. Money is still going down, which is not great, but it is as expected. So now we're going to look for other ways to make some money right now. We do have a city over here, a very small one. There's not a lot going on, but we do have an extra customs house, which that can be helpful. Producing with the farm. Let's see what you're doing. Oh, currently the farm is not reaching everything. If you go down here, it can only reach some of the fields, but not all of them. So just make sure that it has all the fields assigned to it, which it does now, and it can go out there. The setup that you have, what do we have here? I think we want a 1 harvester to 2 tractor to 3 and 4 trucks. This is a relatively long distance, so we probably want, and one harvester can do about 2 fields in this setup, if we're lucky. So 1, 2, 3 harvesters should probably be fine. Let's go get those. Just a third one, and let's get a couple tractors. That's a 17 versus, what do we have over here? Oh, that's clicked on the wrong one. Meant to click on this one earlier, but that's fine. We have 1, 2. We are in 1962. I think we're about to get a new tractor, but that's fine. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 6 of those. And then we just need a bunch of covered holes. I don't want to overdo it right now, so we're just, well, I don't want to spend any more rubles, so we're just going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we have 7. Okay, 8, 9. 9 trucks should be enough to actually bring in all the stuff that we have sitting here. So that's good. The only thing we don't have currently is fuel. That's a problem. And let's get the fuel one out there. And then I would also like to get some fertilizer here, but that's something we're going to worry about just in a little bit, not right away. So that should be okay and gets us some grain going. Yeah, we have a little bit of money problem still, but let's see. Well, this one. I don't like seeing that we don't have enough workers sitting there. So I'm a little concerned about our frequency still. Let's go fix that. This bus should be doing the frequency thing. There are more than enough workers coming in, I think. We just have not enough workers being dropped off all the time. And there's a chance that buses are just blocked every once in a while for a few seconds, and that just happens. I would like you are going to the Maliki bus platform. Very good. There's barely anyone here. Drinking water, poor quality. Well, then just dump it. Dump it and get new drinking water. Seriously. It's not that complicated. Let's find a couple big buildings. Bigger buildings. 17. Yep. All of these sound great. And just move some people into our town again so that we don't have to spend any money on you. You move in there. You move in here. You move in there just until we're full enough, and then we should be okay. Is this cheating? No. You do have a happiness penalty when you do this, so that should be okay. and just you, and now everyone is happy. And we have a little bit of money sitting there. Okay, now what is the next thing? Once you have all of this going, now we have to look at what do we import that we don't need. Trash, that's fine. Concrete, that's fine. We need that to build stuff. What are you getting? You are getting... What is this? This is... That's fertilizer, right? Yeah, that's fertilizer. It looks like some of your distribution offices are not set up to only do one thing or very specifically say what they want to bring somewhere, which can be okay, but will get you in trouble at other times, like right now where they just start picking up whatever stuff they want. Let's get a little higher here and start paying back just a few of them just to get the monthly payments down a little bit. That one can go, this one, let's do 50k, hit enter, and then it just sets it to the number that we actually owe. This one, let's do that a couple times. This one, we're delinquent on. This one, just consolidating a bunch of loans. So now we have a 30-day payment due of 60,000. Can we afford that? I don't know. Let's look. Is this month over yet? Not yet, but last month, how much did we make? We made 7,000 in power, and we didn't really do anything else. So power is getting us a little bit, but to actually survive, we need a lot more than that. Let's see if we can make that happen, because one way to make that happen is to find another export of power, and I don't... Well, I suppose we only have a small NATO border, and it's mostly USSR or Soviet Union borders that we can use here, so may as well get a second power setup going right here. And if you want to do this in realistic mode, be my guest, but for right now we just need this to work. So let's do this. I would like the big wire. We're going to run it all the way down here, and we're going to run it through the back of this, and I'm running it this way because the power lines are already maxed out on this side. We're running 15 and our power lines can only handle 15, so we don't want to go much bigger than that. What we want to do is connect to the other side of the power plant because there's still another 9 or so. Let's do this. Dollar sounds great. There are another 9 or so megawatts available that we can still export. So where did I go? It's right here. Okay, just tell this one I want to export everything, set it to 100%, and we should see the 15 megawatts or close to 10 megawatts because this power plant can produce 24 megawatts of power a day. That should just increase our money production a little bit. Okay, so we have all that done. Great. If we let this run just for a little bit and we can look at our imports and exports for the last month, what is our biggest import? Fuel, that makes sense. We built a couple new buildings that needed extra fuel. Coal, we're turning this into money, so that's not a real problem. Steel, we need that to build. And everything else is relatively cheap, which is great because now we can look at other things that we want to do. What should we do? I would say find something that we can easily produce, and food is not bad, especially because we're next to customs house. Food, however, is not the best solution here, but it's fine. It will do. It will do the job that we need to do here. Let's find a factory connection. Okay, this is what I was hoping for. If we have a warehouse over here that can actually accept everything that we have, we're going to do this, set this one to 100%, and mostly the crops in here, and turn it into food. We're just going to replace the road connection that we have sitting right here because we do want the farm to drop off all the crops into this warehouse so that the food factory can use those crops, that stuff, right away. Looks like you have a nice little backup connection right here, so we're going to connect this, and just to not take too much time, we're just going to auto-build this really quick. Yes, with dollars, because it makes life easy. Let's see, I want that one, and this one. Yes, that one's already built. Cool. And then we're just going to destroy this little piece and make a direct connection, and then we shouldn't have to worry about transporting grain, which is worth a lot. Click on that, click on this, get that stuff done. it should turn it into a dirt road. There we go. So we're going to destroy it again. And now we're just going to see, of course, there's that power line. It's exactly in the wrong place, but that's okay. We can figure that one out in just a second. Yeah, no, it's not going to let me do this. So here's what we're going to do. This one is really in the way, so pause it real quick. Get rid of this one power line. No, just this one, not all of them. Thank you. Are you actually connected to some? I think you're connected there. And then we're going to put our factory connection right there. Then we're going to reconnect the power line that we had here because I'm not sure that we don't need it. So there you go. Get everything built. Also that one. There you go. Very nice. And now life is pretty good because we should see the large farm producing some stuff. There's already something growing here, obviously, and I think they may have started delivering some liquid fertilizer, which is awesome. We also want some solid fertilizer. It's actually better than liquid fertilizer, and we're going to do that manually because we can. I would like to go to our road depot. You don't need this many road depots, honestly. Then let's get a waste truck. Just one of them should be fine because over time you will probably do just okay. And then tell it to go here, pick up solid fertilizer. There you go. And drop it off right here and wait until you unload it. Wait until loaded and then go. So it's going to slowly fill up the fertilizer in here. And it's just going to take up one of the parking spots, so this shouldn't cause any real issues. And if it does, just take that truck away. The other thing that we want is, it's July. We may be lucky. By the time the food factory over here is done, we may be okay to not need to import any more crops directly. So we're just going to wait until that happens. We're going to look at our money over here, that doesn't go too low. We will spend a lot of steel right now on this infrastructure, but especially in the beginning, just make sure that you only spend on things that you actually absolutely need. Because if you have a situation where you spend on money that you don't need, you're not going to get that money back. So this is all we're looking for right now. Get this thing built as quick as possible without having anything else break down. We are currently spending a lot of money on steel. I can see that. So let's just take on another loan. Pay back a couple other loans if you can. Because the main reason why we're doing this is it reduces your amount due for tomorrow. The less loans you have... I tried to do the math before, and no, I can't do the math right. But this should help you, because now we only need to pay 21,000. I think earlier it was a lot bigger, but there may have been also some amount overdue in there as well. So just make sure that you keep your loans tight, and you only spend what you need, and you start exporting and making more money than what you had before. Okay, looks like that factory is being produced here, which is great. I think there is... We are probably far enough away for these guys. What's your health? 58%. That's not awful, but I also feel like we lost a lot of people here. You're unable to get food. Oh, that's a problem. Walking range. You are in range of that building. That's weird. No, that's not food. Okay. Where's food? Food? Oh, okay. This is a rookie mistake. This really is. Also, you are probably not in walking range of that building. No, you can't actually get to those places. That's a problem. Okay, let's fix that. Get you a footpath there. This building is also not privy to that connection. That is bad, because this one is the big one that you actually want to keep happy. But you are able to get to the shop, but you're not able to get to the whole thing. Okay, we can deal with that. It's not the end of the world. I would really like to give you... Yeah, there's no good way. There's only 4 people living here. Okay, demolish this house. The people will go somewhere else in the Republic. They will figure it out. And then we will get a nice little shortcut over here around this house. And in here, and you can go there. The pub is not super necessary, but it's nice to have one. Get all of that built. See if we can get this one a direct connection in there, because that will be nice. And now all of them should be happier. And this building that was having trouble so far shouldn't have that many issues again. How many workers do we have waiting here? Almost none. Okay, that's another thing we're going to fix right now. Because once the food factory is done, we will not have the luxury of not doing the right thing. If you look at the buildings here, quality of flats 77% and quality of flats 94%. That is a soft cap on your happiness. Definitely use the higher numbers. That will make your life a lot easier. I think I want you here because you're connected to kind of everything. I don't want you to get citizens because we have free citizens that we can get. You can also do that when you build a residential building. There's a checkbox down here. Make sure you uncheck that. And then you should be fine there. And then I would really like... That's the water tower connection right there. I would really like a footpath connection somewhere through the back door here. F4, turn off the snapping. Shift. Nope. I don't think this is going to get me what I need because I'm still running into that building, so that's not very helpful. Get rid of that. What else can we do? We could do that, but then you can't work. Okay, I can get through here. That will work. Then I just need to get back here somehow, which there's a footpath connection here. There should be a footpath connection there. Oh, you're connected like this. Interesting. Oh, this is annoying. It just won't let me do the thing that I want to do. Got it. You connect to there, and you... Nope. You can't connect to that. Okay, whatever. You should still be able to walk to everything because the footpath connections that we have should be sufficient. So now we make this one get built. Again, it'll just cost a little bit of money, but I think our food factory is now already done. Well, it's almost done, which is great. It will need water and such. It's going to be a small problem, but I think we can figure it out. Let's get a few more people if we have them. None here, a couple there. That looks great. We're just going to fill up that building that was empty again now that we knew what the problem was. It should not empty again anytime soon. Just make sure you pay good attention to what the error messages are in those residential buildings, because sometimes they're helpful, sometimes they're not so much. So let's get all of you moved. That will give a happiness penalty, but that is fine. Just you. And now we should be good, because I'm expecting that at this point we should have more workers. You're actually not in range of that building. That's annoying. We do want some workers in there. Let's find another... Where's another large town? Large-ish town. Maybe up here? We haven't been there, I'm sure. But yeah, you have 21,000 people to choose from. Just go pick some, and you should be fine. There we go. Let's make it back to our border. Fill up the other house, and then we should be okay to start producing some food. And once you produce food, just make sure that you import what you need, but you also export the excess, so you actually make money off of what you're putting in there. It's important. You go, and then you go. Nope. There you go. Cool. They're all happy. They can do what they need to do here. That's fine. 90 people without a job. We will find you a job because you're almost done. So once this one is done, there are no more workers here because there was work in walking range and it activated the town. So that was already a problem here. What do we have here? Yeah, I want to mostly store crops, and they have started picking up crops from the fields. That is wonderful to see. That's what we want to see. Cool. So this one is effectively done. Why are you stuck? Oh, 11 more workdays. Okay, rounding error. Got it. There are a couple things that we need. One, we do need water in this place. Otherwise, we can't produce food. And the water that we need here has to be high quality. So this is what we're going to do. Put a substation there. Put a sewage tank there. If you want, you can... let's see here. You can auto-build them, or we can just use our own manpower. That's fine too. Then this one is going to say no drinking water, no workers, and no resource missing water. The drinking water and the resource of water, in this case, it's the same, but sometimes it's different. Okay, so we have that one. Once we have the water, and I may, just to speed up the process, because I think we're pretty much done with what we need to do, we're going to do it this way. There are both of the things that we wanted. The technical services over here are not overloaded anymore, which is good, which means we can actually combine them. Let's see, do we have an extra technical service available that I could use for the next stage? I think the answer is no. Yes, you used all of them. Okay. What is this? That's the trash one, but these are the trash trucks that we can't actually use because we only have small containers. So let's see if we can get rid of a couple trucks. There we go. Now all of them are done. Then we can get rid of you. That's good. I would also like to get rid of these guys, but there's just too many of them. We probably just need one or so on each. And that's what we're going to do. Come out here, get a technical service going. Technical service office. Right here. I don't want a fancy road. I just want this. Let's save a little bit of money by moving this sewage truck right here. Was gonna use a water truck, but I don't think that's going to fly. And then I want to check something. This one has a mixed waste container. It looks like that. And for that, you can actually use the container trucks like so. You come all the way over here and go there. And the only thing we still need is a water truck. So we're going to add that one as well. You're going to get all your stuff and drop off all your stuff from right here. And then you should be able to deliver and pick up all the water that we may need. So you, everything is set up. That's fine. I do expect you to start doing something unless the technical service that we have right now. Oh, these are the trucks that we just ordered to do something useful. Okay, I was a little confused. Unless the technical service that we have over here reaches this place. And it does. It does. It's interesting, which means it already has delivered the water. Which is not ideal, but that's fine. So you guys are ready to do some stuff. We currently have just one bus sitting around here and a bunch of buses in the construction offices. We don't want trucks in the construction office, so what we're going to do is move a couple over here. These are actually quick buses, which is a great thing. We're going to put a slower bus back into one of the construction offices, and you can come over here. Let's run you around. There you go. And now we're going to tell you exactly what I want you to do. You go to our pickup spot over there, and then you go down here, and you just run. Almost after the factory, obviously. I want you to go to the bus end station so you can refuel and do the things that you need to do, but that should be fine. There is a risk here, and it's a small risk, but you may run out of workers at this station. Whenever you run out of workers, you have a problem with your power consumption or power production, which is not great. So if you do run out of workers here, just make sure that you add more workers to your city. That's very, very important. But right now we're looking relatively safe. I'm not going to say super, but relatively safe. We have just people sitting everywhere, and that's fine. We haven't run out of money in a little while, which is awesome. I'm almost worried that we're positive. We are exporting about 11,000 a month, which in terms of the economy for last month is, let's see here. Trying to look at the actual expenditure of stuff that we're spending, which is not all of this, just a little bit of that. Loan balance and loan interest just 5,300 for last month, which is great. Amount due in 30 days. That looks a little funky. But yeah, this is the number that we need to shoot for. At least that, plus a little bit extra for what we're spent on food and all those things. So I think once we get the actual workers to show up here, there's some, we can start producing some food, which is awesome. That's what we want to see. But yeah, we do need more workers in this city, so we have more workers to actually send to work. So what we're going to do is probably add maybe 2 more of these, as long as they're in range of everything that we care about, which these may or may not be. City planning is a thing that you just kind of have to get used to. Sometimes in the beginning you may not know what things you need for what exactly you want, but if your city is not big enough to house all the people that you need, that's a problem. If your city is not expandable. And right now I think you're very expandable because how you set it up here. You should be okay with everything. Are you broken down? Oh, this is the problem. This end station was designed with the buses that we had available earlier and the lines, but now we are running out of space. So what we're going to do instead is get not a trolley bus. I just want a regular end station, but the big one. That's the small one. That's the vehicle depot. This is a road depot free. This is the one. It's a lot bigger and it can actually house them. And we do have a lot of workers. So what we're going to do is build this one really quick. Very nice. And then tell our buses to go take a different route. So instead of this bus end station, I want you to use... Actually, let's do this. I want you to go there. Beautiful. And go. So you're stop blocking this. This one can be our bus station for the power and heating plant, and that's fine. But for all other bus stations that we have from here on out, we're going to use the bigger end station to hopefully avoid funny shutdowns. Let's do this. Apparently I forgot that. That's fine, that's fine. Let's get some fuel out here, and that should be good. The only thing that is left to do is actually set up our waste transfers to bring our trucks over there, because currently, as you can see, our garbage trucks are not doing what we want them to do. So what we want them to do now is bring all their waste, and here's what we're going to do. Turn that off. All the waste goes straight to the transfer station. All the water and sewage could go here, but we don't want that. And actually, let's see if we can do this, because that can save us a lot of fuel. Do you have a road depot? Yes, we do. I would like a road depot right here. Anywhere here. Just, there you go. With a gravel road. Very nice. Then I would like to move all the trucks from this station into there. Very good. Then... No, that's fine. We can demolish this. Rebuild a new technical service office right here. Right next to this station is important. Let's just do this. Sure, right there. Actually, it can be closer to here. You can be here, just another dirt one. You can start building the real ones. That's totally fine, but this should work. We're going to wait until all the waste trucks arrive here. Now they're there. Pause the game again, send them to this technical service station, and this technical service station is now responsible for getting all the waste out of the city to this transfer station. And that's great. With that transfer station, we can use this truck and just tell it very simply, hey, you go here, you wait until you're full, I don't care what you load, and you bring it here and you unload it. So now you reduced all your trips to the city when they have to refuel and do silly things by hopefully a lot. And we can go from there. There you go. They're just unloading here. There's some hazardous waste, some other waste, but the other truck that we have is not going to leave this until it's actually full. So we're reducing a lot of fuel trips, a lot of like silly trips that were not necessary. And this truck currently, yeah, has a little bit of mixed waste loaded. It's just going to wait there, and that's what we want. Cool. Traffic here looks different now. We don't have a lot of construction going on right now, which is okay. And these guys have just started to do something. Those are all good things. So, next things you would do here is just get more citizens. Just take them anywhere from the Republic. Again, you have 21,000 to pick from. It should be okay. And then just increase your exports until you get past the 21,000 mark, past the loans. And once you can actually pay down your loan balances, that's when you can start thinking about expanding your city a little bit. What are the next things that your city needs? I know that you had Bratislava already planned over here, and I'm not sure what you're all building here. Hospital, sure. A bus station, definitely. University hall, you probably don't need this. That's fine. Shopping center, that makes perfect sense in the location. University, this is great because you need highly educated people. You don't need both universities at the same time. Pick one in the beginning, especially if you're low on cash, and the headquarter too. So you can, since you have a lot of people, I would do the technical university or the small HQ. The small HQ gives you the distribution offices, which is nice. But yeah, just start building some things, and if you're not 100% sure what they are, come on Reddit, come on the Discord, just ask what these buildings do, or have a little test map where you can figure it out yourself. and that should get you going. Here, there's one problem that we probably want to address really quick. Most buildings that are not stations are not through stations. So in this case, you're connected from the customs house to the rail construction office, but nothing else. That's the only thing that you're connected to, which is a potential problem. So what you want to do here is, that's the wrong one. You want to at least find a way around this building. Otherwise, you're not going to be connected to the rest of your republic. And you don't want that. And it looks like there's a little fuel station over here. Because of these buildings not being through stations, this fuel station is probably not going to be very useful. I'm assuming you just didn't know that, but I hope I cleared that up now. Okay, I talked a lot longer than I expected, but with the food that we are producing now, once you add a lot more people here, you should be able to stay ahead of anything that you want to do. Obviously, you do have to export food, and the way you do that is you pick any of your vehicles that you currently have idle, like this one, and tell them, go here, wait until you load it, and I want you to load food, and then bring it down here. You can use the same truck to also bring food to your stores, but since you have such a low food need, there may not be a big payoff for doing it that way. So yeah, we're just gonna send it down here to the warehouse. It can load stuff there, and you can go a little fancy. You can say, wait until unloaded, but I also want you to load crops, and I want you to unload crops here. So you get a little bit of extra crops in every once in a while. But with the farm, with the setup that you have, and not running the factory at 100%, you should have enough crops to run for a really long time, which is honestly a good thing. Cool. So start making that money. Where's that truck? Is this the one? Yes, that's the one. Cool. We're going to use this to say goodbye. I hope I helped you, and I hope I helped someone else out there, because this game is very complicated, very complex to get started, and it's hard to understand. And some things are logical, and some things are only logical if you think about them exactly the same way as the devs did, which means some buildings aren't through stations. I think that's the big one there. But yeah, I hope you give this a shot, and I hope you play with this, and someone else does the same thing. If you have a game that you have issues with that you need some fixes for, please, please, please reach out and let me know, and I will see what I can do. Thank you for watching. See you again next time. Bye-bye.